by Nelson. Strange header there from the defender, then the strong clearance from Thomas Padmore. He turns, gets away from one, and then trying to find Adams out wide. He's unsuccessful. Good defending from Blackman. Ball given away in the midfield. Armstrong versus Walker. Walker with the heavy touch. Concedes possession again. Here's Joshua Clark dropping deep. Armstrong. Kamal Brand. Outway to Shamario Holder. Trying to dribble his way into contention into the middle of the field. Mears floats it over the top, looking for Kyle Carbin. He's successful. Cross comes in. On goal, hits the crossbar. And Pierre, not sensing where his goal line was, unfortunately puts it into his own net. The cross came in from Kyle Carbin. It hit the underside of the crossbar. Then it hit the leg of the St. Leonard's keeper. So St. Francis take the lead against the run of play in dubious circumstances. Just about 14 minutes completed in this first half. This third place playoff. Missed by Malachi Nelson. Cross comes in from Brandt. Collected by Nicholas Grant quite competently. There's Zion Mears for St. Francis boys. The long ball again. Well read by the number 5, Trevon Wickham. Mears. Carbin, then Mears again. And Zion Mears wins a free kick in a pretty dangerous area. So pressure starting to take its toll on St. Leonard's, who've not been able to settle in this game so far. They've really utilized the space on the left-hand side, but the final ball hasn't found any attackers in the middle. Ball comes in, missed by Raheem Pierre, who's let off the hook by the assistant referee. Flag went up. An infringement spotted. So waiting the resumption in the game. Goal kick. It's not. It's a free kick. Just around 6-yard area. St. Leonard's have been asked to restart. Seemingly the ball or the spot was not the right place. Initially, I thought the ball was moving. St. Leonard's trying to play from deep. Ball hit long, headed away by Tristan Hunt. Number 11 is Jaheem Adams. Ball hit forward by Amigo Jordan. Headed down by Samir Masri. Out wide is Joshua Clark. Clark. Ball comes in, cleared by Masri. Is Kyle Carbin. It's Michael Walker under pressure from too many red shirts. Ball hit long, looking for Joshua Clark. Cleared by Thomas Podmore, not convincingly. The sharp pass from Zion Mears, not read by Jaheim Adams. And number 14, Darian Blackman, allows the ball to go out of touch. Trevon Wickham. Amigo Jordan. Still Jordan in the middle, looking for Brand to make the run. And a strange pass from the midfielder, but he was able to cover up. Ball cleared into the path of Michael Walker, unable to control initially. Was Carbine dispossessed. Here's Christian St. Hill. St. Hill out wide is Shamario Holder. Holder goes past Hunt, and his attempted cross is pretty tame. So a goal kick. But they've gotten themselves into good positions, but have failed to put in the final ball to create problems. And so once again, Mastery will also take. St. Francis boys leading 1-0. So Mastery will take the goal kick. St. Francis boys leading this under 16 third place playoff. Amigo Jordan dispossessed. It mirrors. It was a heavy ball from a very short distance. Brand showing some skill. Cross comes in just behind St. Hill. Cleared by Hunt. Joshua Clark, no. Azarian Harewood, chance, shot is blocked by Kalani Belgrave. And it was he who had made the poor pass initially, which created the counter-attack for St. Leonard's boys. And he was able to recover. And his defensive work, a difference in the scoreline, as he was then asked to block a shot from Azarian Harewood. Brand to take the corner. Ball comes into near post. Miss header, poked away by Mears. Cleared by Carbine. Miss header from Joshua Clark, who hasn't really been involved in this game. He was the action man in the quarterfinals. Zion Mears. Joshua Clark. Where Shamario Holder. Under pressure from Jaheim Adams. Plays back to Blackman. Here's Amigo Jordan. Deshad Paris playing it back to Nakai Armstrong. Ball hit long. Headed away by Hunt again. Played on by Kalani Belgrave. Here's Zion Mears. Looking for the run of Michael Walker. Defender misses. Chance taken. St. Francis boys have a second. Another error from the defense of St. Leonard's boys, and would you believe it? The chance taken instantaneously from Michael Walker, who didn't need a second look at goal. Expert finish past Raheem Pierre, who was off of his line. St. Francis boys lead 2-0. Shamari Horder unable to keep that ball in. So they've paid the price for not getting Joshua Clark involved in the game. Ball struck onto the boot of Kalani Belgrave from Darian Blackman. Ball plays short to Blackman. In the middle is Amigo Jordan, urging his players to move, make some movement in the middle so he can then find a pass. St. Francis boys have defended quite admirably. It's Christian St. Hill. St. Hill finding space for Zarian here with his tackle they thought was clinical, but no harm or no wrongdoing, says referee Nigel Marshall. Here's Kamal Brand. Goes past Kyle Carbine. Still Brand. Cross comes in. Looked dangerous momentarily, but cleared by the center back. Dylan Grant. So though St. Leonard's boys have gotten themselves in good positions, they've been unable to present that talent ball or that clear-cut opportunity. And in so doing, St. Francis boys has just marked themselves and kept themselves in great positions. They've kept it pretty simple, and whenever the player has subsided, they've played the ball long looking for the run of Michael Walker. So St. Leonard's boys would definitely need to create some pressure on Zion Mears in the middle, who's been given a lot of space. Here's Blackman making the run. Cross comes in, headed away by Grant. Ball controlled by Brand, and then he's dispossessed by Kyle Carbine, so St. Leonard's have a throwing. But on a couple of occasions, Mears has found Walker, the number 24, who's been making some lonely runs, almost as if they were contented to sit deep, keep most of their players in their own half, given the fact also in the quarterfinals where they were beaten 3-0 by Queens College, where they found themselves playing a bit too openly. So they've been rather circumspect, and the goals created from really nothing. One, an error or misjudgment, if I'm not to sound harsh, from Raheem Pierre as the cross came in from Kyle Carbine, hit the underside of the crossbar, hit the goalkeeper and trickled in. Shot one time from Amigo Jordan, not threatening Nicholas Grant in goal. And the second goal, the defender, I believe it was Armstrong, having a wild swipe, missing his attempted clearance, and Walker making himself or his presence felt by sneaking in and taking a nice finesse shot past the advancing Raheem Pierre. So once again, Samir Masri will take this goal kick. And number 5 is Deshad Paris. In the middle, looks like Azarian Harewood trying to find Joshua Clark. Clark versus Tristan Hunt. Played back to Harewood. Oh, where is Darian Blackman? Cross comes in. Chance here, good save by Nicholas Grant. One of the best reflex saves you will ever see. Looks like the shot came in from Christian. Actually, it was Amigo Jordan, the midfielder, making it run into the box. A delightful cross coming in from Blackman. Amigo Jordan getting a low right-footed shot with a lot of power, and Grant sticking out the left leg to repel the midfielder. Corner. Once again, Brand will take. What can he produce? Ball comes into the near post, clear. Expert finish by Hunt. And it's another corner. If they can get one goal back before the end of the half, what may count? It's just about 29 minutes in. Playing 30 minutes a half. Ball played short to Brand. Brand hits it lower into the boot of Zion Mears. Blackman puts it in at the near post. Collected on the second attempt from Nicholas Grant. Walker. The long ball again, and a strong crunching challenge coming in from Wickham. In the process, Walker losing his right boot. Same right boot that he used to finish his earlier chance. So, in the far side, looks like the Foundation School watching on. And just arriving to my left, seems like the Queen's College boys. Trying to be taken by Jaheim Adams. Belgrave. Ball hit long. The attempted ball hit long from Adams. Hits the St. Leonard's defender. Another throwing. Throwing short. Here's Belgrave. Turning. Adams. And the ball went out of play, so St. Leonard's will have a throwing. To Wickham. Paris. Looking for a Shamario Holder. His control is a bit harsh. Luckily for him, ball is given away. The 1-2 or attempted 1-2 is well read by Malachi Nelson. And the player breaks down, and a goal kick to St. Francis boys, who really have kept it very simple. But they have dealt most importantly with the pressure. And only one real clear-cut opportunity created by St. Leonard's boys. A shot from Amigo Jordan that was well saved by Nicholas Grant. Ball hit long again This time looking for Kyle Carbon off the lane again is Raheem Pierre. And the shot is tantalizingly wide. For a moment there, Pierre with another sprint off the line. Almost found himself in trouble. Blackman finds Shamaria Holder away. Inside is Darian Blackman, Joshua Clark. Blackman. Well read by Tristan Hunt. Shamaria Holder turns. Outway is Clark. Onside. Clark versus Adams. Cross is blocked. So when you look at it and the number of players in the box for St. Francis boys, really tells the tale. If a team really happy to defend deep, they already have 2 goals to the good. Ball comes into the back post. Cleared by Zion Mears onto the boot of Michael Walker. Good defending from Paris. Play back to Nakai Armstrong. Put under pressure there was Deshad Paris. He was put under pressure from Trevon Wickham. There's Amigo Jordan. Shot on goal. Dipping. But not curling enough either to threaten the upright. And Nicholas Grant really watching closely, but he was in safe territory. So a goal kick to St. Francis boys. And taking their cool and collective time to restart the game. No doubt these precious seconds, minutes will be added on. Ball hit forward again from Zion Harewood, and the final whistle of this first half is blown with St. Leonard's boys trailing 2-0 as St. Francis boys, the unusual suspects, taking the lead and also doubling their advantage. Join us shortly for second half action in this Barbados Secondary School Coca-Cola Under-16 third place playoff from the Usain Bolt complex. In about 10 to 15 minutes or so, we'll be back for second half action. So welcome back from the Usain Bolt complex. Live coverage of the third place playoff in the Barbados Secondary School Coca-cola under 16 championship. With St. Francis boys leading 2-0 versus St. Leonard's boys. So the action will resume any moment now. And have a slight correction to make. It's indeed 35 minutes we are playing instead of 30. My humble apologies to the viewing public. Joshua Clark of St. Leonard's boys to get the ball rolling again. And quite surprisingly, he hasn't really been involved in his first half, given the kind of game that he had in the quarterfinals when he wreaked havoc to the defense of Christchurch Foundation boys. Well read by Malachi Nelson of St. Francis boys. Once again, is a long ball trying to find Michael Walker. Missed by Thomas Padmore and cover defending from Delon Grant. Shamari Holder trying to find Azarian Harewood who slips. Zion Mears. Samir Masri just overrunning the ball slightly. Ball hit long from Malachi Nelson. Unmarked is Jaheim Adams. Diagonal ball trying to find Kyle Carbon, who is in an offside position. So this a foul has been awarded for an infringement that occurred before the attempted ball played from Adams. So St. Francis boys have a free kick. Two potential takers standing. Zion Mears and Samir Masri. Is Mears on goal, just wide. It's a goal kick. It's going to be quite interesting to see how St. Leonard's boys respond. Will they lay down and play dead? Or will they get themselves back into this game? In the quarterfinals, they at one point in time found themselves trailing at 3-1 and then scored 2 late goals to force a penalty shootout, which they eventually lost. Pressure created by Zion Mears, and the foul is won. So urgency being shown by St. Leonard's boys. Ball hit long from Amigo Jordan. Slipping is Grant, regaining his footing, and ball cleared out to the side by Masri. They're definitely playing with more pace. Turned it from Christian St. Hill, but well defended initially by Nelson, who then gives it away. And then St. Leonard's give the ball away as well. The counter-attack here ensues. Good defending from number 14, Darian Blackman. A better pass may have created a different, or a slightly different opening, rather. It's definitely St. Leonard's were stretched defensively, but in following the predictable tactic that they have used so far, St. Francis boys, Zion Mears tried to find Michael Walker, the lone striker. Played inside to Jaheim Adams. Michael Walker, chance here, and quick feet there from Nakai Armstrong. And a corner the result as the defender was forced to make a clearance. Zion Mears to take this corner in number 8 for St. Francis Boys. Seven red shirts defending, 4 attackers in the box. Ball cleared. Another clearance or attempt of a clearance missed. This is Zion Mears. Blackman loses his footing. Ball comes in from Mears. It looked like a deflection, and then Nakai Armstrong places the ball off of the boot of Michael Walker. So goal kick. Play short. Trying to find Shamario Holder there. Darian Blackman. Cleared by Tristan Hunt. Masri. Zion Mears. Michael Walker unable to collect. The pass played forward. And clearance there made. No changes made from the half. Headed back out of play from Blackman. A foul is won by the defender. Another chance to push players forward. I don't think Kamal Brand has had a touch of the football since the resumption. So the player tasked with the role of restarting the game. Just tying his shoelaces. Ball hit long. Looking for number 15. Here's Joshua Clark with the control. Ball cleared by, looks like Grant. Here's Kyle Carbine trying to make the reverse pass for the overlapping Nelson, who's out of position now. Christensen Hill. Regains his footing. Defending coming in from Malachi Nelson. He seemed to strike the ball onto the boot of Kamal Brand. And the referee and assistant in agreement point to the spot for a goal kick. So once again, Masri will take this goal kick. Played long for Zion Mears. He missed control. The ball over the top. Now from Amigo Jordan. It's collected luckily by Grant. Ball stuck between his legs. Walker trying to find Mears. Unsuccessful. Ball given away needlessly from Trevon Wickham. Kamal Brand. Good recovery from Malachi Nelson. Plays it forward to Kyle Carbine. In the middle is Masri's sharp pass, but Amigo Jordan not committing. And can understand why, and very saddened. I'll explain later. Ball played through the channel for Kyle Carbine. Good recovery from Darian Blackman, but his clearance strikes Michael Walker somewhere in the midriff, and he has gone down. Seems a bit winded in the quarterfinals. St. Leonard's boys lost a player due to a broken leg. It's Jacoby Davis, and his leg broken in that encounter. Very sad news, and really wish the young player a speedy recovery. You never want to see any form of injury in the sport. St. Francis boy lead 2-0. Goal scored in the first half. I believe the first was a long goal, and the second from Michael Walker from a mistake at the back, and he was quick to pounce. There is Blackman playing the ball back to Nakai Armstrong. Plays short to Shamaria Holder. Gives it away in the middle of the midfield. Here's Jaheim Adams. He too is dispossessed quite easily. Looking for Joshua Clark to make the run, but the ball is played slightly behind. In number 12, here's Christian St. Hill twisting and turning. Trying to find in number 19. Chance here for Joshua Clark. Joshua Clark! What skill shown? The defender thought he was going to take the shot. He checked his shot. He turned inside and slotted the ball through the legs of Nicholas Grant. Clark gets involved and has a chance. And I can dearly say one chance, one goal for Joshua Clark. He's that kind of a player. So he into the 46th minute. Just about 11 gone in this second half. And he spoke about these comebacks from St. Leonard's boys. Diagonal ball, and that looked dangerous. Cleared by Dylan Grant. But Clark has come to life. And should he continue to reproduce that kind of form, St. Leonard's can not only get back into this game, but also take control. I believe that he's scored more than 10 goals in this competition. I think after the quarterfinals, he had accumulated, I think, 11. But he looks like a good marksman. But a change seemed to have been made because I see the presence of number 19, Kimar Butler, in the corner, never threatening as it curled its way before the near post. So a goal kick. So I will have to see who was replaced. Also, Shonico Hill is in, the number 2. So looks like Butler with the half clearance. It actually was Nakai Armstrong. Beautiful skill from Kyle Carby. Cross comes in. And get in there first to double the lead again. And with a none, with an acrobatic celebration, a none-hand backflip from Michael Walker, a delightful ball from the number 7, Kyle Carbin. And Walker making a run at the near post. Pierre was hesitant and putting himself on the line. Walker getting there first to head the ball past the goalkeeper. And St. Francis boys have another, scoring now 3-1. Amigo Jordan. Well read by Malachi Nelson. Here's Zion Mears, back to Masri. And Shamario Holder wins a free kick. Away. Ball comes in again and collected low by Nicholas Grant. This is very good goalkeeping on 2 occasions now because the movement from Clark was so precise. In addition to that, the delivery was good. Masri, Mears under pressure, plays back to Grant. Heavy touch, heavy pass. Ball easily given away by Shonico Hill. In space is Kyle Carbine, muscled off the ball from Trevon Wickham. Given away by Amigo Jordan. Cover provided from Nakai Armstrong. Ball played in. Taken by Raheem Pierre. So definitely, I know the fans watching will want to see that back flip celebration again. Butler making a run. Tristan Hunt got a piece of it, which changed the direction of the ball. And then Thomas Padmore coming over to make the clearance. St. Leonard's in possession on his right-hand side. Cross comes in, headed away by Zion Mears. Cross comes in from Brand and get in there just as quickly as Joshua Clark was Thomas Padmore. Dangerous sharp pass from Masri. And Amigo Jordan was very quickly on to Mears, and he's over. He was holding his side, and just moments before that, he was rubbing his shin. It was a strong coming together between him and Amigo Jordan. Goal kick taken by Masri. Bouncing, well controlled by Shamario Holder. Long ball, trying to find Kemar Butler. Butler barges, wins possession, but unable to keep the ball close. The ball goes out of play. It's a goal kick to St. Francis boys. So look at the time on the clock going. It's about 52 minutes. Approaching the 53rd minute. It's 18 minutes into the second half. Playing 35. Pierre just getting to the ball before Shonico Hill, who plays another very poor pass. Puts his team under further pressure. And I don't understand what Nelson was doing there. He was out of position, and he put himself in position to get the ball and didn't want it. Ball cleared, however. There's Kalani Belgrave, Jaheim Adams, Zion Mears. A number of sharp passes being played between Mears and Masri. And Mears is brought down. She tried to switch the ball from the center of the midfield to Tristan Hunt. His son has left us. Shady. Shot blocked and spinning and collected by Pierre. But for a moment he had to feel as if he was let down by his defense, as he was surrounded by at least 3 St. Francis boys players. Butler. Joshua Clark. Clark. Still Clark. Joshua Clark. Shot blocked by Padmore. Still Clark, who wins a free kick. So Kamar Brand will take this free kick from the left-hand side, close to the corner flag and close to the goal line. Ball comes in, curving away, sliced, attempt of a clearance from Jaheim Adams, and then mopped up by Zion Mears. Michael Walker causing problems again. Michael Walker is brought down. Screams of "Nah ref." Friendly fans watching on in belief that Nakai Armstrong won the ball in his tackle. And the chance here scored would definitely be the end for St. Leonard's boys from this set piece opportunity. Card shown to, it looks like Amigo Jordan. So a 4-man wall. Two potential takers. Samir Masri, Zion Mears. Player shot from Masri to Mears. Claiming. And it was almost a smartly worked move, as the wall was really a wall. No one moved. They were just remotely there. Ball played through the middle for Amigo Jordan. Here's Joshua Clark. Kemar Butler, dispossessed by Tristan Hunt. He finds Zion Mears. Kalani Belgrave. Miscommunication between the two defenders. The flag goes up, but the referee in the center seemingly overruled. Michael Walker with the shot just wide, and definitely from that angle looked like Raheem Pierre would have been beaten again, as he was also statuesque in goal. Another change being made. Looks like Amigo Jordan leaving the game. And soon see who is in. I'm still seeing Darian Blackman, but I haven't seen Deshad Paris. In the game, so maybe he may have been replaced by either Kimura Butler or Shanico Hill. There's Hill. Joshua Clark dropping deep. Not seeing a number assignment for the number 13, who's just entered the game, so I'm not familiar with his name. Under pressure from Michael Walker. The defender on a solo run. He runs directly into Malachi Nelson. It's Trevon Wickham. So the game, 3-1, the score at the moment. St. Francis boys leading. It's Darian Blackman finding Christensen Hill. Cross comes in, taken by Nicholas Grant, who's been very good in this game. Looks way more competent than he did during the quarterfinal game. His mirrors twisting and turning, trying to go through the center. Belgrave, well read by Joshua Clark. So Kamar Brand has been replaced. Ball switched out wide, looking for Christian St. Hill. Tristan Hunt was being very resolute at that left back position. Was once again prevented an attack. Lovely skill there shown from, it looks like Kamiko Jordan, who I thought was going to be replaced, but it is indeed Kamal Brand who has been replaced, who's been switched. So, goal kick to St. Francis boys. Not much time left. It's about 9 minutes or so. St. Leonard's need another strike from someone of the caliber of Joshua Clark. Ball hit long from Mastery. Eventually controlled by Shaunico Hill. Hit long. Good defending again from Thomas Padmore. Kimara Butler is first to the ball, but runs out of real estate. It's a throwing to St. Francis boys. Another change being made. Nakai Armstrong being switched. Mirrors given away, cleared by Jaheim Adams, and Michael Walker has announced himself from an offside position. Well played short to Clark, who seemingly dropped into midfield, having not received much service. Here's Amigo Jordan, Shamario Holder, Joshua Clark. Looks like Christian St. Hill. Clark. Jordan. Ball played in, cleared by Thomas Podmore. Whistle is blown. Free kick to St. Leonard's boys. Some supporters from Queens College trickling into the venue. Ball struck to the back post, dipping just over the bar. Whenever the ball has been high, Grant has looked very tentative, but he has grown into the game, and his glove work can assure you as well has been impressive. Joshua Clark. Well, read by Zion Mears. Here's Belgrave. And Carbon is offside. So Leonard's pushing players forward is resulting in a couple of offside decisions in their favor, but they haven't gotten the ball to any of their target men. And they haven't tested Nicholas Grant with any shots. Christian St. Hill. Poor pass. Intercepted by Tristan Hunt. Zion Mears. His foot race was had the potential of developing there, but the pass was just too heavy. Looking for Michael Walker. Poor pass again. Intercepted now by Trevon Wickham. Amigo Jordan. The attempted 1-2. Ball played into the box. Well, right by Palmore. Shot on goal. Not convincing. The player there not getting any firm footing to take the left-footed shot. And he was always leaning back as well. Ball cleared by Masri. .65 minutes gone into the 66. Just about 4 minutes of regular time left, plus time added on for stoppages. And a goal now for St. Leonard's boys will make this game very interesting. The closure to this third place playoff in the Barbados Secondary School Football League. Wickham, cleared by Tristan Hunt, headed forward by Masri, and the advantage played. And Shamari Holder dispossessed. Jaheem Adams, 3 against 2. Adams. Well, he went for glory. He had options in the box. Wickham. Amigo Jordan. Where's Blackman? St. Hill. Cross comes in from St. Hill to the back post. Chance here for the number 13. Off the crossbar. Butler misses. Beautiful skill. But good recovery from Tristan Hunt. And St. Leonard's have a corner. And Kemar Butler missed what must be described as an opening. He was unmarked. Maybe the ball spun at the last moment as he was trying to make the shot. Corner comes in to the back post. A foul has been awarded in favor of St. Francis boys. Sun is back out. All of its hue, and heat-like conditions return after that dose of shade. Ball played on, looking for Joshua Clark, who's returned to the front line. Ball read by Kyle Carbon, whose initial cross created the first goal as the ball hit the underside of the crossbar. They hit the very nonchalant Raheem Pierre in goal and crossed the line. The second goal, a mistake at the back, and Michael Walker placing the ball past Pierre, who was off of his line. And the last goal, a header with Walker putting himself on the line to get to the ball before Raheem Pierre, and goal for St. Leonard's boys. And the consolation goal, which was scored at 2-1 by Joshua Clark. Chance here, and a very tame shot from Kyle Carbon. Here's Malachi Nelson. Zion Mears, shot blocked. Screams and cries of a handball. Michael Walker is dispossessed by Shamario Holder. Ball played alone, looking for Joshua Clark. Chest on. Clark versus Thomas Podmore and Samir Masri. Clark is brought down. Joshua Clark has won a penalty. And I have to ask myself, do they have enough time? I don't think that they do. Into the 71st minute of action, regular time has elapsed. Looks like Amigo Jordan in number 7 for chance to create some late drama. St. Francis boys have had equal opportunities to add a fourth to the score, and they haven't taken their chances. Can St. Leonard's have a second? Amigo Jordan slotted home. 3-2. It's unfortunate that I don't have the official times for the goals. Do apologize to the viewing public. So any moment now, the final whistle is in this Coca-cola Barbados Secondary School Football League, third place playoff under 16. St. Francis boys finished third as they upset St. Leonard's boys 3-2. And drama unfolding here at the Usain Bolt complex. An action-filled game, plenty of goals, 5 to be exact. And coming up next, the under-16 final, where Queen's College will come up against Christchurch Foundation boys. Team from just about Hines Hill, St. James versus the team from Christchurch. It should be a very intriguing game. And we'll take a break and rejoin you shortly for action in the final. Join us shortly. Good evening and welcome back to live coverage on the Trident 10 television network of the Coca-cola Barbados Secondary School Football League. This is the under-16 finals. Christchurch Foundation Boys versus Queen's College. And at the moment, the respective captains doing the coin toss. Ethan Squires with Queen's College. And Jalen Phillips, Foundation. 35 minutes and a half. I'm your match commentator, Kwame Paris. In the middle for this game, Andrew Herbert. In the third place playoff, St. Francis Boys victorious 3-2 versus St. Leonard's Boys. And any moment now, we will have a kickoff in the finals of this school matchup. Under 16 finals, Foundation versus Queen's College. Foundation wearing the Dortmund kit, yellow and black shirts, black and yellow shorts, yellow socks. Have a kickoff, 4:03 p.m. St. Leonard's coming on this left-hand side with Ethan Squires coming to life early. Squires, shot blocked, ball cleared. Ball hit long and the striker seemed to be in an offside position, but no flag went up. Pressure created here by Squires. Squires. Ethan Squires. Early advantage. First minute of action. His second chance already. Puts the ball past Delandro Best of Foundation. And they didn't even get the chance to introduce Nikhil Utan Chandani. But you've been here and you've seen in quick time what can happen when Ethan Squires is on the ball.
Yes, good afternoon to you, Kwame. Great start by Queen's College. You know, exactly what Coach Sidaway would have wanted, you know, coming out of the blocks quickly. Already created 2 chances, and on the second time, Ethan Squires puts it away. We know how clinical he is. He's shown it in the previous stages, and that was a too easy finish for him. I mean, too much space to roam for him. Poor work done by the defenders.
Chance heard just below our commentary point. Queen's College looking lively. Out wide is Narada Gibbs Burke. Played forward, looking for Thierry Ince. And the ball goes out of play. So a goal kick, an electric start. The sun is back out. It's a lot of heat. And already feeling the heat. It's Foundation. The goal kick taken by the defender. Miscontrol by Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, who's also been very prolific in this tournament. The midfield battle. Squires again. The captain. Ball played through. Clear then headed away when there seems to be a flag there. So, possession to Foundation.
Yes, a lot of work to be done here, Kwame, for Foundation, you know, in terms of getting that goal. It's always difficult when you go 1 goal down, especially in a final. You already have that pressure on you, and then, you know, when you have the entire QC support here, and plus, you look at the final as we see a break now on the wing. But I think, you know, today, Kwame, in terms of Foundation, we saw, just let me look at it here. Yes, this is young Jalen Phillips, you know, so a lot of talent in this side. Raquan Clark was very good in the semi-final as well. So, I mean, I think it's not over yet. But as Queen's College seem to get the ball, they seem to, you know, capitalize, and they don't squander too many chances. So let's see if the foundation defense can actually withhold what Queen's College will put out. So it's going to be Nath Lynch on the ball here. Just going to get the Queen's College lineup for you. We have Diego Fenty, Diallo Small, Joshua Harvey, Justin Griffith, Thierry Ince, Nath Lynch, Yanni Marshall, Krishma Ramsey, Dominic Small, Ethan Squires, Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, and Narada Gibbs-Burt, who we saw was really aggressive down that left-hand side in terms of, you know, creating for the attackers, Narada Gibbs-Clark. And then, of course, on the bench, they have the likes of Jordan Bryan, who's already scored in this tournament. So really a lot of depth for this Queen's College side. As the ball going out of play there, it's going to be a throw-in for Foundation. Have the Queen's College lineup here. Kwame, but really it's been balanced stuff so far.
I don't think Foundation would say so. Harvey there taking the sting out of the game by keeping possession. Squires. Ball played through the middle. Long ball looking for Vanderpool Nurse. But they would definitely need to settle quickly because we had lamented also in our commentary of the quarterfinals that it took, of the quarterfinals, or the semifinals, that they took a while to get Ethan Squires into the game. But in this occasion, he started pretty quickly. Chance here for Jalen Phillips. Phillips twisting and turning. And it looks like the number 10, Jalen Johnson, was in an offside position, so he didn't venture close to the ball. Narada gives Burke under pressure and allows the ball to run out of play for his team to keep possession.
I'm sure you'll be interested to know, Kwame, that Ethan Squires, it's not just a goal, you know, out of nowhere. He's recently played a football match at school in the futsal competition. He scored 4 times. That was 2 days ago, so he's definitely in a purple patch. And today he added to it, you know, getting Queen's College on the board very early.
He's a very good player, and he also links up very well with Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. There's Daniel Thomas in the middle, trying to find Jalen Johnson. Squires coming inside and out of his usual position. 3 against 3. Cross comes in. Vanderpool Nurse. Ball cleared. Daniel Thomas is going to have to equally play an important role in midfield for Christchurch Foundation boys. But quite clear so far that the keeper, Denadro Best, is going to be tested. And definitely Coach Sidaway must be very happy with this start, Nikhil.
Yes, definitely. You know, they've been pretty compact. They've dominated possession of Queen's College. But we mentioned this young man here, Kwame, by the name of Jalen Johnson, who I know you'll be very familiar with. We saw him in the semifinal. He was absolutely brilliant on that wing. How can, you know, Queen's College really stop him? They have Diallo Small playing at that left back position, and how he's going to be very critical, you know, in terms of stopping the likes of young Johnson, because when he links up with, you know, Joseph, we can see what the two of them can do. We know that they're the 2 foundation leading scorers for the tournament.
Daniel Thomas. Out wide is Jalen Johnson. Diallo Small got a touch on that ball. Still trickled through to Jalen Phillips. Poked away. And number 8 is brought down. So a free kick to Queen's College. A foul committed on Jelani Johnson. So there's a Jalen Johnson and a Jelani Johnson. Long ball for Vanderpool Nurse. And good defending from Foundation. And they now have a goal kick.
And, you know, speaking to Coach Sidaway today, Kwame, he's very nervous, and I'm sure you remember last year in that final against Dayton Griffith, you know, some things in terms of the refereeing calls may not have gone his way, but he's still optimistic that this year, Kwame, that they can get over the line, and I'm sure he'll be delighted, you know, in terms of the under 14 and under 16 consistently getting to the final. All they need to do now is just win it, and thanks to Ethan Squires, they're, you know, not on the verge just yet. We're very early into things, but definitely Queen's College with that 1 goal cushion will be critical.
My apologies. In number 8 for Queen's College is Yanni Marshall. From possession to Queen's College. Getting a very early start to this game. Going into the 10th minute of this first half. Cross comes in. Headed away by Raquan Clark. Cleared by Daniel Thomas. Where does Narada gives Burke. And you look at the height differential as well. That will play a role in that midfield is Kishmar Ramsey, the number 10 for Queen's College, and Yanni Marshall, the number 8. They look well built, and long ball played forward from Squares looking for Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. But they definitely make their presence felt in that midfield. Was totally impressed in the semifinals by Kishmar Ramsey. Here's Jalen Johnson, the little maestro. Diagonal ball trying to find Jalen Phillips is unsuccessful. Vanderpool Nurse for Queen's College. Yanni Marshall. Vanderpool Nurse intercepted by Daniel Thomas. Jalen Johnson. Daniel Thomas. Then Phillips left that potential ball forward. Ball played slightly behind the attacker from the number 17. Coming forward to join the attack. Better player, more enterprise being shown from Foundation.
Yes, as we have an advancement now, but again, you know, that Queen's College defense so compact, make it very difficult for Foundation, you know, to really create chances. And I mean, we spoke about those wingers in terms of Johnson, we spoke about Joseph through the middle. How will they find a way, you know, to get the ball through? It's been a pretty, you know, open game so far, but as we see Vanderpool Nurse steaming down the wing, but we know Queen's College usually like to dominate possession. So let's see if Foundation can, you know, hold as a cross comes in, but skewed over the bar. And you can see Coach Sidaway there, hands on head. And he looks like he wants to go on the field, Kwame.
There's that link again between Squares and Vanderpool Nurse, also familiar. And another chance there to Squares. His third already. This game has goals written all over it. But at the moment, one team looking the clearer of the two, providing the spark in front of goal. Goal kick. Marshall is first to it. Ball cleared. And cleared again by the number 11, Naif Lynch. Nice skill there, oohs and ahs from the side. Jalen Johnson ignoring the run of the number 8. Then finding himself in trouble with a poor pass. Here's Squires on his left-hand side. Squires. Cross comes into the back post. The Queens College contingent is definitely enjoying the skill shown by their players, and obviously having taken the lead, they're expecting a second.
Yes, and I think Foundation, will have to find a way, Kwame, to stop Ethan Squires. Right now, not really man-marking him, but I think as the game progresses, the Foundation coach may, make a change there because been given a bit too much space to roam. I think this left back here needs to do a better job of, picking him up a bit earlier because Vanderpool, Nurse, and Squires have been able to roam too much, and that's something that they can work on as well in terms of Yanni Marshall, who's really the main play creator for Queens College. Can they close him down in the midfield? We saw against St. Francis in the semi-final. He had a lot of room, and that was really what set up the Queens College goals. So it's really going to be a tough team to beat Queens College, but they're beatable. I mean, St. Francis, I thought, did a very good job, of course, besides that one goal that was scored early. So let's see if Foundation, can do the job here as ball being brought up now by Kishma Ramsey. What a ball played to Squires over the top. He's onside. Keeper comes out. No one is home, but wow, good clearance there by the last defender. Khalil Vanderpool Nurse was waiting in space and really got away with one there.
So Squires, shot blocked, cleared by the number 11, Kenrian Harris. Turns, Kobe Nurse. Pass intercepted. Well read by Kishmar Ramsey in the midfield for Queens College. Khalil Vanderpool Nurse under pressure. Good defending. Here's Joshua Johnson. Ball played forward for Phillips. And it seemed like a tug there, but Joshua Harvey showing his dexterity as well. Playing with the ball at his feet outside of the area and taking it back inside to collect with his hands. Here's Diallo Small making a run through the middle. See number 16. More skill showing. Yanni Marshall. Vanderpool Nurse. Yanni Marshall. Ball cleared. Dimitri Pula. Doesn't win the free kick that he was looking for. It was actually a good tackle. Ball down the left-hand side. Jalen Phillips. Jalen Johnson. Unable to penetrate. The defensive effort of Diallo Small, who tried some nifty footwork and was unsuccessful. Here's Janani Joseph, Daniel Thomas. Janani Joseph under pressure. Nice turn again on Lynch. Cross comes in, cleared away. But the fans are loving every piece of skill on showcase here in the kill.
Yes, a bit better from Foundation now. You can see they're really setting a look at the skill of young Jalen Johnson as that one peters out for a corner, but we know what he can do. And you can just see now Foundation beginning to get into it a bit more and find their feet because they're going to definitely need it against the likes of this strong and powerful Queens College side. It's good to see both schools having some very good support here. And let's see now. I can see a Foundation player being warmed up already, which would indicate maybe a strategic change. But Queens College look pretty relaxed as we're going to have a corner. Only about 3 bodies in the middle there for Foundation. Pretty surprising. And of course, they're not the tallest. You look at the young Jalen Johnson. But let's see what they do here. As the ball takes a bit of time here, but a lot of things happening at UWI today. Kwame. As young Johnson stands at it, we know how good he is. He delivers a high one in, but straight to keeper Joshua Harvey. And Kwame, how impressed have you been with Joshua Harvey, the keeper, as he kicks a long one? Wow, that's a powerful kick. How impressed have you been with him?
He's looked like a seasoned professional. Good skill there again from Ethan Squares. Ball to the back post, ball right again, and then the free kick won. But he had a fantastic game in the semifinal. And exuding a lot of confidence here. A little far he is off his line. The defender here seems to be in a bit of discomfort, in need of the medic. This one, 19 minutes completed in this first half of 35. Queens College in the lead. Foundation will make a change. Not certain who will be sacrificed if the injured player is unable to continue, or, well, he seems like he's unable to continue, so the change will be made. Not saying a name for the number 1. Usually the goalkeeper wears number 1, but in this instance, the defender is wearing number 1. So, not missing any action. There's Coca-cola, Barbados Secondary School Football League under 16 game. Queens College leading 1-0 in the just concluded, in its final game, and the just concluded 3rd place playoff. St. Francis boys victorious 3-2 versus St. Leonard's boys. Throwing to Queens College. It's Diallo Small advancing from left back. Throwing to Yanni Marshall. Another throwing. Daniel Thomas. Good work done by Diego Fenty. Diallo Small. And looks like Kishmar Ramsey there. Well played back to Naif Lynch. Was almost short. Jalen Phillips was lurking. Another example of how aware Joshua Harvey is, switching the ball from center midfield to left. From the center of his defense to left. Diego Fenty, beautiful ball. And good goalkeeping by Delandro Bass. Yanni Marshall. Out wide is Narada Gibbs-Burke. Cross comes in. Squires. Shot block. Ball cleared. So, Queens College looked like a well-fueled engine so far in this game, as they're not afraid as well to get players forward.
Yes, and good defending that time, but you could see Narada Gibbs-Burke, the crosses that he's going to be required to put in, and really a very influential member as the ball beautifully played between Johnson and Joseph. Oh, look at the link-up play between the two of them. We mentioned the link-up between the two of them. They understand each other very well, have a good rapport. But the problem is, that Queens College defense is going to be something to break. Now, Foundation will get their chance, Kwame, but it's just if they can, capitalize and, score, because Queens College are not going to be able to keep up this defensive, solidity ready for the entire 90. So, Really, let's see, but really Jalen Johnson and Jalen Johnson and Jelani Joseph. I'm thinking about Carl Joseph from Notre Dame. But really, the two of them doing some great work. And speaking of great work, is Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. But again, dispossessed. And what I found Vanderpool Nurse did very well in the last play when the ball was played through to him, he waited for the defender. You know, he knows he has a couple of yards in terms of pace on them and waited for them to move and then made his move in terms of getting the ball, but unfortunately it was taken away by the defender. So really great to see both teams, you know, playing some good football. Of course, this is the two best teams really, and I actually heard that Queen's College have won the league in terms of the under 16 league. I've heard that. I'm not sure if it's official, but I've heard that they've come out champions of the league. So if they are to go on today, Kwame, and win the knockout as well as the league, wow, that would be something.
Chance here. Ball played just behind Vanderpool Nurse. And Raquan Clark was in prime position to make the clearance. So it looks like Gibbs Burke taking the throwing, looking for Diego Fenty. Headed on by Daniel Thomas, and then a strong right footed clearance. It's also athletic season, so seems like a track club. Maybe the UWA Blackbirds athletic sports program, also ongoing on the athletic track. Another stoppage here. See. Trying to retrieve the match ball. But in the meanwhile, what do you think Foundation needs to do to get back into this game?
Personally, I think, Kwame, they need to go for it. They've started a bit nervous, for me in terms of the game. And, of course, that would have explained, that first goal. Because no one ever wants to make an error, It's a big final. I mean, the crowd is here, a lot of support. The entire school, well, a lot of the school is here watching. You have some at home tuning in. So, for me, they started a bit nervous. Queen's College with the likes of Ethan Squares, Khalil Vanderpool Nurse have a bit more experience and would know how to deal with these sort of situations and big matches. But for me, I think they need to, the coaching staff need to commit a few more bodies forward, because when the likes of Jelani Joseph and Jalen Johnson get in positions, they don't really have many options to pass to. So I think if they can commit, and start moving the ball a bit more freely, I think they could really, break this Queen's College defense, which we have seen St. Francis break in the semifinals a couple of times. So you never know, maybe they could break it. I see you're checking a Tottenham Hotspur score here, 1-0 in the FA Cup. I didn't know you're a Tottenham fan.
I'm actually a Chelsea fan, but football is football. World switched to the number 19. You put me on the spot there. I'm not a Tottenham fan. Beautiful skill there shown from Diallo Small. Well played forward and stylishly collected by Joshua Harvey. And if the fans are in the tizzy, they're really enjoying these opening moments. Beautiful skill. Jalen Phillips unintentionally handled the ball in his exuberance to take the ball forward. Ball hit long from Justin Griffith of Queen's College. Ethan Squires trying to go through the duo, and he was sandwiched. No foul committed. Here's Daniel Thomas. Jalen Johnson hasn't really seen much of the ball in the last couple of minutes or so. And we know, too, as well, for the most part, whenever he's starved of possession, Foundation tend to look pretty flat.
Yes, and speaking of Jalen Johnson, great sportsmanship. You can hear the claps of Queen's College. You know, him putting out the ball. That's what you want to see. Ethan Squares down, getting some treatment. And Kwame, you look at this now. He looks to be in some serious pain. If he's to go out for end of the game now, I think, you know, Queen's College will have a lot of work to do. They have young Jordan Bryan on the bench who's an attacker. But, of course, we know in terms of experience, you would want your captain, the leader, Ethan Squares. We know the link up with him and Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. So it's going to be very vital, this injury. And I think Coach Sidaway knows it. I saw him shaking a bit when he was running out there. So let's see if Squares is back up on his feet. And you know, Ethan Squares is the type of player, Kwame, that he would never want to miss an occasion like this. Also interesting to note, I see Thierry Ince in the starting 11 today, you know, after coming on as a sub in the semi-final and scoring that already clincher the second goal to put St. Francis away. So good to see the coach rewarding him for his hard work. But Squares looks to be pretty okay. I see calls for some water there, but just probably, you know, a bit winded, and good that he's back up to his feet.
It was like me when they came up those million steps to get our position here in commentary. And Justin Griffith as well, showing sportsmanship and returning the ball to the opposition, collected by Delandro Bess. Given away, however, Vanderpool Nurse switching it to his right leg. Nurse, heavy touch, and almost a miscommunication between Raquan Clark and the goalkeeper, Bess. Jelani Joseph finds Jalen Johnson unmarked. Johnson. I mean, ball goes the other way, but for a moment there, I thought he was actually fouled. But the referee, Andrew Herbert, says no. Diallo Small. "30 minutes gone in his first half of 35. That's Kishmar Ramsey finding his teammate inside. Ethan Squares was almost able to play Vanderpool Nurse in. Here's Jalen Johnson. Poked away by Naif Lynch. Out wide is Jelani Joseph. I thought it was Joseph for a moment because he looks so similar to Joseph, but his shirt is not graced with a number. It's Ethan Squares through the channel for Vanderpool Nurse. Vanderpool Nurse. Vanderpool Nurse curling away from goal. And Bess didn't get a touch on it. And that's a goal kick.
Yes, and good attempt there from Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, but wow, Foundation defense need to do a better job, Kwame, in terms of getting back, you know. There's no way that you can let an attacker with the quality of Khalil Vanderpool Nurse run into that space each and every time, because after a certain point, he will put you away. He's that clinical. So they need to do a better job while still remembering that they need to attack because they're trailing by a goal. But really, keeper Delandro Best there didn't look the most comfortable on that one. And it's very interesting. I picked up something about him on a numerous of occasions. I've seen him using his feet instead of his hands. And I just wonder, you know, when he was required to go down to the ground there, I mean, that one nearly skid past. He wasn't able to get a touch on it. So let's see how he can, you know, progress as we see Vanderpool Nurse again. Wow, beats one defender. He has Squares to pass to. All him on goal and no chance for the keeper. Kwame, there's no chance for the keeper. What are Foundation doing? A short ball being played by Best to the midfield and given away. Vanderpool Nurse beat one defender and then a second, and he had Squares to pass to, but he easily placed it in the bottom left corner. And we mentioned it, I just told you, you don't want to give an attacker like that many chances. 2-0.
Well, that's striker's form, striker's personality as well. As you said, Squares was open, but the mistake created or caused by Jelani Joseph trying to dribble his way out of the midfield, and he turned blind, to use a term familiar in football. And the defender was also nonchalant in making a tackle. He got a piece of the ball, but Van der Poel was able to recover the quicker of the two and then slot the ball past Bess. Johnson tries to find Phillips, intercepted by Justin Griffith. Here's Yanni Marshall. Diego Fenty. Looking for, I believe, Thierry Ince. Ball played just behind Van der Poel. Ball cleared. And frustration started to show in the body language of the Christchurch Foundation boys.
Yes, and they've got, a big attacker in Jalen Phillips. But one thing to note, Kwame, look at how deep this Foundation attack is. No one really getting forward. And, they keep digging themselves into a bigger hole because they're defending, but it's obviously not working, having conceded 2 goals. And now, no threat really on attack. Joshua Harvey's had a field day because he hasn't done much. I don't even think he's been required to make 1 save. So really, he will be pleased with what his defense is presenting. But for me, this game is being won currently by Queen's College and their midfield. You look at the likes of Yanni Marshall. Diallo Small has done a good job as well. Krishma Ramsey playing in that creator's role at times, but he also knows when to hold. And that's what's really helped Queen's College because Foundation have never been able to penetrate forward. And every time Foundation get the ball to go on a run, they're dispossessed. And as we saw with the goal, Queen's College are very capable of putting that away.
But to strengthen your point, before the goal kick was taken, the number 16, Diego Fenty, was ushering his teammates to position himself further up the field. They also are defending in a very compact manner. Possession to Foundation. Ball hit in the middle. Attempted flick on there from Jelani Joseph. There's Yanni Marshall. Ball played through the channel from Diego Fenty to Van der Poel. Van der Poel. Ethan Squires. Ethan Squires! That's a rocket! That's 3-0. That's Squires' second. And that was also delightful, Nikhil. That was stupendous finishing.
Yes, really great finish by young Ethan Squires. He pulled out the Griezmann celebration, call me, and that shot was Griezmann-esque as well. That time, Khalil Van der Poel opting to pass the Squires, and it paid off because we knew as soon as Squires got the ball, Kwame, he was never missing from that range. 3-0, so much work to be done by Foundation. They could be staring down a 6 or 7 goal defeat today.
They're making it look easy. Of course, there's still an entire half of football to play. We'll get the official times for the goals. But what we do know, the first goal scored by Ethan Squires, the second by Khalil Van der Poel, and the third just moments ago from Squires again with his second. That's the end of the first half. The whistle blown by referee Andrew Herbert. Join us in about 10 minutes or so for action live from the Usain Bolt complex. The cheers in the background coming from the Queen's College contingent. Join us shortly for action here live from the Usain Bolt complex.
You know, they don't look like they really want to score goals. They don't look threatening on attack at all, and that Queen's College midfield has just shut it down since the first minute. Interesting change. Jordan Bryan on for Thierry Ince. Jordan Bryan started a couple of games. We saw him come on late in the semi-final. Good to see him come on at halftime. You know, one of the younger players, so who's going to have several years in this competition. So maybe the coach, you know, wanting to get some of his younger players the experience of playing a final. So I can understand the reasoning by Mr. Rory Sidway being 3 goals up. Let's see how it pans out for Foundation. To get back in this one, they need to, you know, use Jelani Joseph and Jalen Johnson, the young 2 attackers, need to get the ball to them. And, you know, as this is a start here, but we see, you know, Nath Lynch is very strong. You can see him bodying off his attacker now. And that's going to be the main problem for Queen's College because Joshua Harvey's had too easy of a day in bars.
He looks easy going, by the way. On his right-hand side, Foundation tried to create an opening, but their efforts are thwarted by Diallo Small. Joshua Harvey plays it short to Naif Lynch. Support shown by Yanni Marshall. Here's Diego Fenty looking for Jordan Bryan. Keeps it in play. Bryan. Fenty trying to play the return ball. Well, right. Clearance made by the number 12, Jacoby Nurse. Kishmar Ramsey. Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. Vanderpool Nurse over the crossbar from the acute angle. He went for power rather than placement, but I can tell you definitely Delandro Best wasn't covering his near post.
Well, that was a tough one there for Vanderpool Nurse. Had, you know, a clear position on goal, but, you know, always going to be tough hitting it across the face of the goal. You know, would have had to beat the keeper at near post or above his head. And in the end, trying to lift it a bit too much there. But again, positive signs straight out the half, Kwame, as Queen's College making, you know, their noise here. But got to start here out of the break. It shows that Queen's College not letting off the gas. They want to close it out maybe with 1 or 2 more goals.
It seems like revenge mode have been lost. The finals here in 2019 versus Dayton Griffith. Definitely there's no complacency being shown from Queen's College. Here's Ethan Squires. Oh, White is Narada Burt, who's looking for the ball from the attacking midfielder. And in his stride to take a shot, he was clipped from behind. So Queen's College have a free kick in a dangerous position with Kishmar Ramsey, one of the takers, interested. Although Squires in search of his hat trick. And for a moment, Diego Fenty was also hoping for a look-in. But the 2 midfielders converge. Ramsey claiming and not threatening Best in goal. So goal kick to Foundation.
Yes, you know, tough luck there for Ramsey, but from that close range, only about 20 or 25 yards there out, Kwame. Always going to be tough to get it over and down in terms of the wall. So another chance petered out, but as you can see, I don't think Foundation have had 1 shot on goal for the entire game, and when you do that in a final, you can't really expect to win. Young Jalen Johnson, Jelani Joseph have not had the service needed, you know, from their midfield to really, you know, threaten the Queen's College, you know, attack. And this is one thing I want to show you. Queen's College, when they have, you know, even when they don't have the ball, you can see Joshua Harvey always off his line, trying to play the ball, to his midfield, distribute. And you can look at Delandro Best not really helping out his team much, being all the way on his goal line at all times because, teams may need to make that backward pass, but he may be just too far and it may be a risk. So maybe by him coming out the box now, it could really push the rest of the team up. But they definitely need goals and they need them fast, Kwame.
Truth be told, another chance is opening here. Well defended there. As Vanderpool Nurse was trying to cut into the space or potential space in the midfield. It's a fair point that you just made in terms of Best disconnected from his defense, sitting deep on his line. But certainly his defense has also let him down. And also when they've had their chances to go forward, the entire team has not pushed as a collective. All the goals scored so far in the first half. Scored 3-0. Trying to Queen's College to be taken by Narada Gibbs Burke. Thrown straight to the defense of Christchurch Foundation. Ball played back to the number 11. Here is Ruger Clark Hunt. Looking for Jelani Joseph. Play breaks down. Long ball from Kishmar Ramsey to Khalil Vanderpool Nurse. Vanderpool Nurse. Save. Chance again. Vanderpool Nurse has a second. Queen's College have a fourth. And that must be the final nail in the coffin for the Christchurch-based team in its finals. Queen's College lead 4-0.
Poor goalkeeping there from Delandro Best, Kwame, coming off his lane, I found very unnecessarily, trying to use his feet again. Vanderpool Nurse beat past him, but whoa, that was a tough angle to score. He went in between the defender's legs. Really great strike by him. And really, Queen's College deserved to win this final, Kwame. They've been a level above the rest, and Khalil Vanderpool Nurse and Ethan Squares are showing it. And when they leave this division, I think Queen's College are going to miss them very, very much.
I think Best was a bit nonchalant there. He definitely was first to the ball. Unfortunately, his attempted clearance struck the left leg of Vanderpool Nurse and created a second opportunity for the more than eager striker, Ethan Squires. Ethan Squires! That's his hat trick. And Best thought that he had done enough to position himself to keep out Squires again. But similarly in the first half, when they scored one, they scored a second in quick succession. And now they've extended their league even further. Queen's College now have a fifth.
Yes, well, already 2 goals in quick succession. Foundation have had no chance to really, gather their legs there. And what a move by Ethan Squares. He cut in on the inside, and that's right there, Kwame. That's how you know the difference, because you would expect a defender to close him down. No one came. He was not forced to make the pass. And you cannot leave Ethan Squares one-on-one with the goalkeeper because he will put it away. Really, the short Delandro Best had no chance at that one. Lifted over his head. What a hat-trick for Ethan Squares. And he's a match-day player. A big match-day player, because to score a hat-trick in the final takes some doing, especially after scoring the first goal for Queen's College. I just want to know if this hat-trick will put him above St. Leonard's Joshua Clark in terms of the most goals.
It'll be interesting to find out. And Clark himself scored in the third place playoff. Out wide is Kerrion Harris. Ruger Clark Hunt receives a nudge in the back. So a free kick to Christchurch Foundation. They have a band here with instruments. They're singing quite joyfully. Ball played to Ruger Clark Hunt under pressure from Yanni Marshall. Cameron Harris, who would have scored in the semifinals, having played a more significant role then, hasn't really been involved in the attack so far. Strong challenge there from Justin Griffith. So a change will be made. Looks like Ruger Clark Hunt being sacrificed. And Thierry Gibson will enter this game with his team really up against the cosh.
Yes, not really what the neutral would have wanted to see, Kwame. Really a one-sided encounter. But as you can see, you know, we saw it from the semi-final. Foundation were impressive going forward, but going back, they always had their frailties. And in this situation now, you can see Queen's College really exposing them. And, you know, Kwame, you look at these type of players from Queen's College under 16, and then you see the under 19 team not doing and really maximizing its potential. And this will be, you know, if they can, well, they will go on to win this one. But they should use this as, you know, motivation to, you know, do a bit better in the under 19 in terms of the league. A bit of a scuffle here between the Foundation and Queen's College players, a bit of pushing, but I don't think this is necessary here, Kwame. I think a bit of frustration by the Foundation school after, you know, being let in 5 goals today. I mean, that in a final with so many people watching, it definitely could be, you know, lead to some frustration. But really, it's been Queen's College show today.
Yellow card showing to the aggressor, Kobe Nurse, and also a yellow card showing to Narada Gibbs Burke. So we await the restart. 47 minutes gone. So 17 minutes into the second half. So a lot of action here. Seems like Ethan Squares has been booked. I believe that he may have made the mistake, may have flashed a card in the direction of Narada Gibbs Burke, unless he too was booked for part of the little melee that unfolded. Vanderpool Nurse, Ethan Squires, Kishmar Ramsey. He was looking for Jordan Brand. Ramsey gives it away to Daniel Thomas, who hasn't really been noticeable in the midfield. Strong presence there. Winning the advantage on Yanni Marshall. Here's Thierry Gibson. Cameron Harris trying to put the ball into the box. The cross is blocked. Throwing to Foundation.
Is your cousin in the starting lineup today, Kwame? And if he is, oh yes, he did play the third place game from St. Leonard's. So I'm sure you would be pretty disappointed finishing 4th in the competition. And of course now Foundation, what a disappointing performance by them. You know, you never want to come into a final and be beaten by 5 goals. I mentioned at the start they could be down a 6 or 7 goal barrel, and it doesn't seem to just finished just yet, Kwame, because Queen's College are coming. It doesn't look like Ethan Squares and Khalil Vanderpool Nurse are finished. We're in the presence of Nicholas Maitland. We know what he can do on and off the field. Do you think maybe if Nicholas Maitland was on the field for Foundation now, they could get a couple goals back?
He may have provided a stronger foundation. But they have a free kick now. And Daniel Thomas stands over his free kick. 3-man wall. Can he beat Harvey? Into the wall, striking Naif Lynch. Harris puts in the cross to the near post and collected easily by Harvey. Here's Jordan Bryan. Vanderpool Nurse. Vanderpool Nurse. Vanderpool Nurse. Almost being able to get past a cadre of Foundation players. Ethan Squares. Vanderpool Nurse. Diego Fenty. Fenty. Dummy there played by Squares. Looking for Brand at the back post. Wasn't even sure if Jalen Johnson was still on the field. He's been a real figment of anyone's imagination, a mere ghost in this late evening sun. He has hardly had any touches in the second half thus far, and as you can easily realize, a rather flat Christchurch Foundation team is being picked apart quite easily.
Yes, a direct contradiction to what he did in the semi-final, Kwame, where he was dominant, set up all the Foundation's goals, and was the main reason they are in this final. But today, I can't really blame him. Young Jalen Johnson of Foundation, can't blame him, Kwame. I think he didn't get the service from the midfield. Just over 50 minutes gone now. And yes, I think, definitely in terms of the midfield, we know who won that battle. And that was the main reasoning behind Queen's College being 5 goals up and not looking done just yet. Free kick into the box. Good free kick, but again, Harvey has had it'll be a goal kick. But again, very field day for him. He told me at halftime it's just too easy. He has not made one proper save. He's not been challenged for the entire game.
Gives it away. Carrying Harris finds Terry Gibson, who instead of trying to put the cross in on his left side, he was awaiting the defender, seemingly to showcase his dribbling ability. Seems to like he was in an offside position. The Queen's College posse has gone a little silent in the last couple of minutes. Long ball finds Jordan Brand offside.
Yes, very disappointed with that one there. Jordan Bryan, very enthusiastic youngster. His brother, Kwame, if you didn't know, watching this broadcast right now, actually played for the under-17 national team. So that's young Ethan Bryan. So football is definitely running in the blood, and you can see Jordan Bryan as he's come on. He's always looked for the balls through. Offside, going to be waved by the referee. That one goes in, but will not count. It's offside. You can see the flag is up. But Jordan Bryan, very enthusiastic, and as well as this Queen's College crowd that's come here today, very enthusiastic. I mean, at lunchtime, Coach Sidaway told me he didn't even know if they would get anyone to come and watch, but really he's got, I think, more than he can ask for because the support has been great for QC.
So, Vanderpool Nurse robbed of a hat trick. And that's really his cries or his claim of disappointment as he was sitting on the turf. Of course, Ethan Squires has converted 3 chances, and he has scored a hat trick. Diego Fenty making room to allow Kishmar Ramsey to go on a solo run. He's now his dispossessed. Here's Kenrian Harris, dispossessed as well. Here's Yanni Marshall, Ethan Squires. Daniel Thomas for Foundation. Ball cleared by Narada Gibbs Burke. Not the best of attempts. You will see it getting the ball up the field from Delandro Best, and quite easily the defender dribbles the ball out of play, and it really has highlighted how weak the performance has been overall from Christchurch Foundation. They played tremendously better in the semifinals versus Queens College. Shot coming in. There's a deflection, says referee Andrew Herbert. So a corner. Queens College still in search of goals.
Yes, I see 2 Queens College substitutes being summoned by Coach Sidway. You know, just wants to get everybody out there. Definitely going to go on to win this one, Kwame, so no problems with that. But really, what a performance it was by Queens College. As we close, slowly near to the close of this final, yet another Coca-Cola Barbados Secondary Schools Football League. Already a successful one. We saw 2 competitive semifinals, but today it was all but competitive as Queens College triumphing over Foundation. 5-0 so far. Maybe this game may have more in it.
Definitely. As we wind down the clock here from the Usain Bolt complex. 57 minutes of action we're into. It's just about 22 gone in the second half. Here's Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips, shot blocked by, looks like Justin, actually by Diallo Small. So corner, another change being made here. There's 2 players coming on, number 12 and number 5. Let's see if we can find who those names are. Dominic Small, number 12. Jalen Williams, number 5. And out looks like number 16, Diego Fenty. Just awaiting clarification on the second player. My wild guess, I would say Narada Gibbs Burke. Throwing to Christchurch Foundation boys. So Dominic Small, number 12, in, and Jalen Phillips, Jalen Williams, in number 5, in. Of course, Jalen Phillips is the captain of Christchurch Foundation. He's wearing the number 13 and those fluorescent orange boots that you can see. There's Yanni Marshall, dispossessed. Ethan Squares gets away from a Kobe Nurse momentarily. Ball hit up the field, headed away by Naif Lynch. Strong presence of Daniel Thomas wins possession. The one-time ball from Jelani Joseph. Jalen Phillips. Good positioning from Lynch, but his clearance is on to Daniel Thomas, weak shot chance here for Thierry Gibson. The ball just kept him interested and teasingly went over the line. But very few and far in between. Foundation has gotten the ball in and around the attacking third. Squares pass forward, looking for the new entry into the game. Jalen Williams is just behind him and a bit too harsh, so possession to Christchurch Foundation. But Nikhil, what do you think is the key to the overall performance from Queen's College?
Well, I think, you have to look at how clinical the attackers have been, Ethan Squares, Khalil Van Nurse, but as I keep mentioning, Kwame, for me it's that midfield, always closing down. Foundation never allowed them to create many chances, get the balls to the wings, and I think because of that, the likes of Yanni Marshall, Krishma Ramsey have done a very good job to put Queen's College up by a big margin in this game. It looks to me that they've had a switch in formation. They've sent Jordan Bryan through the middle now. It looks to be like Khalil Van Nurse having that room to roam, as we see young Williams with the ball now. Beats past the defender well. Yanni Marshall, the referee playing the advantage there. He falls as well. Wow, he got kicked in the face there. Let's hope he's all right there. But yes, Kwame, for me it's been the midfield battle, and Queen's College have won that from the time the ball was kicked off.
Raquan Clark, the player down. Sorry, Raquan Clark, the player making the challenge. Yanni Marshall, the player down. .61 minutes on the clock. Gallagher is shown to the number 2. Ethan Squires. Will he put a telling ball into the box for Khalil Van Nurse to deliver his hat trick? We'll wait the delivery of this free kick. Ethan Squires headed on. Chance here. And Dominic Small, who has just recently entered the game, has gotten a chance. The ball headed on, seemingly from Naif Lynch. And Small in an onside position, popping it at the back post with a neat finish. The score now, Queen's College 6, Christchurch Foundation Boys 0.
Yes, 6-0 for Queen's College. Great finish by Dominic Small. But yes, to speak of that, first of all, great ball into the box by Ethan Squares, and then headed on by Naif Lynch, who then scores and did a very good job to get on the score sheet, make an immediate impact onto the field. That as soon as he was brought on, we're going to have 2 more substitutes now for Queen's College. Coach Sidaway giving them a chance. One is Khalil Yearwood Miller, and the other one is Toby Dottin, who's actually started the semi-finals. And as you can see, they deserve claps, because the 2 best players by far on the pitch today, Kwame, are coming off in Khalil Van Nurse and Ethan Squares. I don't think any of them want to come off, because I think Van Nurse, who's on the verge of a hat-trick, wanted to stay on and get that hat-trick, but Coach Sidaway opting to take his best 2 players off with the score now on 6-0.
I think Toby Dottin started in the semi-final in number 15, and also coming in, Khalil Yearwood Miller. So 1 Khalil for the other. Number 21 coming in, number 17 going out. There's Jalen Williams trying to make a run down his right-hand side. strong shoulder barge from Jalen Phillips. Ball goes behind. That's a corner. The sprinters here below us getting into their work. Toby darting to take the corner. Ball delivered to the near post and awkwardly cleared. Only as far as darting to put the ball back in. Here's Kishmore. Actually, it was Justin Griffith with a low shot, and DeLandro Best did not move. He seemingly thought it was going to the right of his post. It came through. Numerous yellow shirts, and Justin Griffith, coming up from the defense and staying forward, has scored a goal as well.
Yes, really poor performance by Foundation, Kwame. I told you 6 or 7, and it's 7-0. Embarrassing performance by Christchurch Foundation. I don't think Assembly will be too lively tomorrow, that's for sure. But, I mean, you never want to get beaten by 7 goals to 0. Really not the best of performances by this Foundation side, and great goal by Justin Griffith, but I expect the keeper Best to save that one.
I think he was unsighted. Fortunately for him, his team has not shown up in his final. Justin Griffith, buoyed with confidence, puts the ball into the area. And Phillips trying to bring the ball from the back is dispossessed. Jelani Joseph brought down. And number 12 is a Kobe Nurse. Giving away. The ball cleared. There's Dominic Small playing the ball all the way back to Joshua Harvey. Jenna Williams is carrying Harris, trying to go forward on the counter. So also Yanni Marshall, who played a very integral role in the midfield, has been replaced. And Coach Sedaway, as you said, he may have been nervous at the start, but he must be more than contented. Reaching 2 successive finals, and in this case, in the 2020 edition, seeing himself victorious and walking away with the title. And the confusion on my end, Nikhil, because the number 18 looks very similar to Yanni Marshall. There's a line through his name. See Dominic Downs. I wonder if they're related.
Well, I actually thought it was Yanni Marshall. So does that mean that he was replaced then? Or maybe, well, yes, number 18 has a line through his name. I don't see Yanni Marshall there anymore on the field currently for Queen's College. So maybe it is Dominic Downs.
But also looking at Toby Dotting, he doesn't look, from our angle, he resembles Yanni Marshall as well, but it looks like Marshall has been replaced. Khalil Yearwood Miller has been very involved since his introduction. Strong challenge there coming in from Raquan Clark, who's already on the yellow card. Chance here for number 20. Jordan Bryan gets one. The second half change. He restarted the game from the second half. And Bryan gets the goal to make it 8. and no doubt seal the fate of the Christchurch Foundation team.
Excellent goal there by Jordan Bryan. You look at the finesse he had on that, Kwame, because a normal player may have taken a first-time shot, but instead, Jordan Bryan, Kwame, he took one touch, he took another touch, and that helped him beat his defender, exhibited sheer pace to beat his defender and put it away beautifully. 8-0, can't believe it here. Jordan Bryan, well done to him, you know. We saw him coming on as a sub in the semi-final. Today came on as a sub at halftime and did the job for Queen's College. 8-0, Kwame, can you believe it?
They've made it look easy. Regulation time has elapsed. At any moment now, we will get the final whistle from referee Andrew Herbert. Shot coming in, dipping from Jalen Phillips. And once again, Joshua Harvey isn't called into action. And the coach said away now has removed his hat. Feeling quite comfortable from the sideline, and commiserations to Frederick Giddings, the Christchurch Foundation team. Two teams playing a final, and no one ever wants to lose a final, as you lamented earlier. But there can only be one winner. Technically, though at this level, development is the greatest importance. Winning also forms development. And unfortunately, for Christchurch Foundation boys, they will have to live with this dejection, success, and sadness synonymous. Justin Griffith. The final whistle goes in this Coca-cola Barbados Secondary School Football League Under-16 final. Queen's College victorious by 8-0 versus Christchurch Foundation. For his final thoughts as the boys ran onto the field and drowned their coach, Rory Sidaway. I hope it's water in the cooler, or it could be Gatorade at this level as well, or Powerade rather, if you're keeping it with the sponsors. For his final thoughts in this game, or on this game rather, Nikhil Uttam Chandani.
Well, Kwame, firstly, that one looked more like Coca-cola, you know, to quench the thirst of the young boys. But whoa, I don't think Queen's College need any of that, because the performance they've put out there today, really, they've quenched their thirst of hunger for a championship. You know, getting to the final last year, not able to go all the way, but this year there was no doubts about it when they started the first minute with Ethan Squires getting on the score sheet within the first 5 minutes, and they did not let up at all. Great, you know, trust being shown by his coach, Coach Sidaway. He knows the you know, importance of developing young players. He brought on 2 subs in Jordan Bryan and Dominic Small, both who got goals, Kwame, and he took off his best 2 players, and they were still able to, you know, ride it out and score 3 more goals. So 8-0 is the final score here at the UWI. Of course, Usain Bolt complex, but Kwame, what a dominating performance by Queen's College. Credit to Coach Rory Sidaway, and credit to the players as well. Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, Ethan Squires, the relationship between them, the way they've linked up. They definitely deserve this win and this final, of course, the win of the final. And they deserve the Barbados Secondary Schools Football League Under-16 Championship.
So a hat trick for Ethan Squires, a brace for Khalil Vanderpool Nurse, and 1 goal each for Dominic Small, Justin Griffith, and Jordan Bryan. I believe that we may take in some action from the field at some point, but okay. In fact, we aren't. We're going to leave you here from the Usain Bolt complex after the completion of this game Thank you for joining us on the Trident 10 Television Network. Thank you for joining us on the Trident 10 Television Network and on our YouTube stream. On behalf of Nikhil, Uttam, Chandani, and the team of Trident 10 Television Network, I'm Kwame Parry saying good evening and goodbye.